Hello friends, now we have one topic minerals. Actually here now two topics we have. First about minerals and second about soil, right? So first we are discussing about minerals. Earlier we have discussed about rocks, right? So minerals is actually a natural formation of different chemical composition through organic or inorganic process. I repeat, minerals are natural composition of different chemicals through organic or inorganic process. So these all process are taking place natural way under the layer of the earth. That is the main point you have to remember. And minerals are found in solid state, liquid state or gaseous state. State means forms. These minerals are developing on basis of its geographical structure, mainly whichever the land, what could be the chemicals, naturally ingredients are inside of the earth, it create different type of minerals. So remember, minerals are found naturally. Neither any person can store mineral in it. It can be developed naturally. It can be used by manual efforts, but the creation of the minerals are natural. There are different type of minerals: metallic minerals, non-metallic minerals, energy based resources. These all are minerals. We have to remember this. So which kind of the minerals are and where it could be found? See, generally metallic minerals mostly found in igneous rocks. I repeat, metallic minerals mostly found in igneous rocks like iron, copper, nickel, gold, silver, etc. are found in igneous rocks, right? We have already earlier understood about the igneous rock. Okay, the other minerals like natural resources of energy are found in stratified rock. Natural resources for the energy are found in stratified rock, as like coal, gas, mineral oil are found in stratified rock. And non-metallic minerals like diamond, like slate, like graphite, like granite, marbles are found in metamorphic rock. So every rock has their own characteristics. On that basis, different minerals are acquired from different rocks. That we must remember, right my friends? So here I want to discuss about metallic minerals. Metallic minerals which are, I have stated, sorry, but in which types these minerals are found, let us discuss. Pure precious metallic mineral, silver, gold and platinum, are precious by the cost and by proportion. Remember, precious in terms of the proportion and cost both. When the proportion is very few, the cost will be high. It's a natural thing. Okay. Second one is a light metallic minerals. Light metallic minerals are magnesium, bauxite, and titanium. Light metallic minerals are magnesium, bauxite, titanium. We have to remember this. Clear? Okay. Thereafter, here remember why I say the light metallic minerals. In the weight it is a light. That is the main point. Here I am not indicating its price. Its weight I am saying. Clear? Okay. Metals or the minerals of the general use are iron, copper, lead, zinc, tin, nickel. These all minerals or metallic minerals are come in daily use. So it is called minerals of general use. We use the utensils to cook, mainly made from these kind of the minerals. So we say it minerals of general use. The fourth one is mineral used as alloys. Alloys means mixture. So the minerals which are used with mixing one to another, which can be used as called alloys. Alloys means mixture. Chromium, manganese, tungsten, vanadium, these all are used as mixture. Generally we have seen that these minerals are not directly come in use, right? So it is called minerals used as alloys. Okay. Thereafter, the minerals coming to discuss as non-metallic minerals. Okay. Here in metallic mineral you have to remember the definition. Which minerals can be used to acquire metals by refining process of it. Which minerals are used to acquire metallic substance by refining process, that minerals are called metallic minerals. Okay. Non-metallic minerals mainly have no substance or elements of metals, and I have already stated the name, but again as given here I am repeating again: limestone, chalk, asbestos, mica, marble, diamond, right? All these gypsum, yes, all these are considered to be non-metallic minerals. Okay. So thereafter, okay, here you have to remember the definition. I am again reciting. Which minerals, from which minerals we cannot acquire metallic substance is called non-metallic minerals. Which substance are not providing us metallic substance is called non-metallic minerals. So most of the minerals in which the minerals are not existence are called non-metallic minerals. And last, energy resources. Okay, here according to your book, if I am explaining, I have to remember that only one detail, but I am explaining in division. Now listen: coal, mineral and natural gas, these are fuel based energy resources, means by them burning we can acquire energy, right? But the uranium and thorium are considered as atomic energy resources. From these resources we can develop or we can acquire atomic energy, and atomic energy will be useful in process of energy development. So remember, here the resources are given total 5, but are divided in two types: coal, mineral oil, and natural gas are fuel based, means we have to burn it, and uranium and thorium are atomic energy resources. So when you prepare, in your mind you keep it divided in two types, because use of the energy and acquiring the energy in different way in both kind of, because fuel based need to burn, as by burning them we can acquire energy. But if we are talking about uranium and thorium, we have to do atomic process of atomic energy acquisition. It is done through atomic reactors. So it is useful in that way, right? As like the other coal, mineral oil, natural gas, it cannot be used. But to get the energy from uranium and thorium, we have to do atomic energy particles division. It is done in atomic reactors, right? Okay. Now here we have the list of some important minerals, and these minerals we can acquire from different states. See, for all minerals the details are not given, but the details are given, and I am stating only 3 or 4 states of it. You have to do one thing. As per the given table in your textbook, you can prepare your own table for your understanding. That is important, because from this paragraph we can get the questions. I repeat, we can get the questions, and that question could be asked on objective type questions. So we need to see that the topic must be prepared, as it is better we can do, right? Okay, first one is iron. See, iron is found from many places in India. It is one of the major and easily available metallic minerals, right? Okay, first place here in given as the list, Jharkhand. Second is Chhattisgarh. Third one is Andhra Pradesh. Fourth one is Goa. I am not stating all states' name. Okay, I continue all. So whichever you remember, but the first name is always to be prepared as the priority list, right? Okay, I repeat: Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, Goa, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Karnataka, Bihar, and Madhya Pradesh. Mostly you will find 2 or 3 states main in which most of the minerals will be found. These 3 states are mostly you will find: Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Bihar. These 3 states are exist almostly. Let us check the second one. Another 2 I can add: Goa, in someone Gujarat, in someone Madhya Pradesh, right? So these are the states where you will find. Okay, second I am explaining manganese. Where are manganese available? Karnataka, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Goa. So the 5 states: Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bihar, West Bengal, and Odisha. This is the group of 5 states. Most probably at least 1 or 2 you will find in everyone, right? Okay, let's discuss about Copper. Copper mainly find in Gujarat and second Rajasthan. Remember, copper mainly find in Gujarat and Rajasthan at priority level. Primary, their proportion is found more in Gujarat and Rajasthan. The later are Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Sikkim, Meghalaya, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Jharkhand, and so you and Madhya Pradesh. Sorry. Okay. Here you can see the West Bengal is the same out of that 5. The Jharkhand is the second out of that 5. Means these 5 states group or the block, at least 1 or 2 you will find in any minerals. That is the main point I want to say. Okay. I repeat. The primary numbers are Rajasthan and Gujarat. Most probably in Rajasthan copper is exist more, but in Gujarat also. Okay. Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Maharashtra, West Bengal, and Jharkhand. Right? Okay. Now we are moving to the fourth one, that is Odisha. So in about Odisha, bauxite is found in Gujarat as the priority number. I want to indicate here name of Gujarat first. After the copper, again Gujarat comes first. Right? In Gujarat, bauxite found more in the Kutch region and some part of the Saurashtra region. But other states are Odisha, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh. See here, out of the 5, the block of 5 I have indicated in beginning of the list started, 3 are here: Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Odisha. Clear? Fifth one is lead. Fifth one is lead. Lead mainly found in Rajasthan. See, lead is considered to be metallic minerals. Its weight is very heavy, but the strength and particles strongness is very low. So as you beaten up as you throw it on the land, it will be divided, it will be broken up. So the lead is not a strong mineral as like the metal. Hard mineral as like a metal, it is not found. Okay. The places are Rajasthan, the first priority place. See, in Gujarat also, this is the another one, Gujarat you are finding. Okay. West Bengal, Odisha, again the block of the 5, the 2 are here. Thereafter Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Sikkim, Meghalaya, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh. So here now you have total 7 states. Any one of these 7 you are finding. Block of 2 and block of 5. Another 2 is Rajasthan and Gujarat, and the connected is Madhya Pradesh. So here the 3 and here 5. So 7, total 8 states. Out of the 8 states you can find out and you can write down any one. Clear? Okay. I repeat the places where the lead is found: Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, Maharashtra, Meghalaya, Sikkim, and Gujarat. But I have already stated that Rajasthan and Gujarat are priority states as like the bauxite. Clear? Okay. Then let us discuss about mica. As given in your book, the sequence has not been maintained that where it is found in more proportion. The proportionate sequence is not given here, so I have to change it. Okay, mica mostly found in Bihar and Jharkhand. Both are connected to each other, so both have the similar land. The politically it has been divided in the two states, but the land is similar at both states. So if I want to explain more, I can say that in Jharkhand and Bihar, proportionately 6,000 mines of mica are found in this area. Small mines, but the existence of the land is more. So out of that, Hazaribagh, Champaran, these two districts in both these states are originating mica more, and best quality mica is found in Andhra Pradesh, that we have to remember. Okay, the remain is found from Rajasthan. Okay, in Andhra Pradesh we can found transparent white or light green colored mica we can found, that we have to remember. The best quality mica in India is called ruby mica. Ruby mica it is called. Now the seventh number is limestone. Limestone, mica, both are non-metallic minerals. You have to remember here. Limestone is found mainly in the places of Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh. This is the first mineral in which we can see the name of any northern state. Here the other minerals have not been given. These minerals are coal and mineral oil, but in Assam, in Gujarat, these two states we can find more mineral oil and natural gas. And coal is found from Gujarat, Kashmir, Odisha, West Bengal. These are the places where we can find coal also. But with that, where we can find the mineral oil, we can also get the natural gas. So Gujarat and Assam both has more proportion of mineral oil and natural gas. So many refineries are also established in Gujarat and Assam, that we have to remember. The world's largest mineral oil refinery at the Pipavav near Jamnagar in Gujarat, right? We have to remember this. Okay, these 2 points I have added but not indicated in your textbook, that you have to remember. Is that clear with all of you? But when I am explaining, I am giving the all details of all topics. So as I have given here. Okay. Now we have the new topic to discuss is soil. Here I want to discuss first, maybe not in more detail today I can discuss, but I am discussing here the beginning of the soil discussion. I am going to start. What's the meaning of soil? Generally it is called thin layer formed of organic and inorganic process on the surface of earth. Thin layer, soil is a thin layer formed of organic and inorganic matter on the surface of earth. That we need to remember. Is that clear? Okay. Now the main point we have to remember why the soil is useful. We all know the basic use of soil. What is the basic use of soil? Agriculture. It is the basic use of soil, right? Others are literally important, but agricultural importance of the soil is always in priority, because without the food we cannot live. Okay, soil is related to surface of earth in same way as the apple with its skin. This is the line given in your textbook. Means if the soil is not there, the remain part of the earth, the harder portion of the earth, the lithosphere of the earth, without the layer of the soil cannot exist for more. So soil is the protection layer of the lithosphere, the harder layer of the earth. It is the protection, right? The thin layer of crust of earth is called soil. So actually 2 points out of all these explanation, you must remember 2 points. Soil is thin layer on the crust of the earth. Second, soil is a thin layer formed of the organic and inorganic matter on the surface of earth. So you have to remember this point, because as the development of the earth is better, with the fertility we can find the crops, otherwise the crop will not find. So the discussion now going to start is soil formation. Soil is a result of denudation of rock. Denudation means division of particles of rock. The rock surface is eroded due to different factors. The rock surface is eroded due to different factors like temperature, rain, snow, air, vegetation and insects. I repeat, soil surface is developed by different factors arising on rock surface, as like temperature, rain, snow, vegetation, insects. These are main 5 to 6, and last one is air. I forgot. So these 6 elements are turning rock surface by the process of erosion, convert it into powdery form. So as it is converted, it becomes the useful. So we need to understand here, these all processes are affecting to the rock surface and convert, destruct and divide in small particles. In this layer, gravels, smaller stones, pebbles, soil particles, which are known as regoliths. In this layer, we can find gravels, smaller stones, pebbles, soil particles, which are known as regolith. So remember here, regolith is conversion of rock surface by the erosion process happening due to different factors and converting the rock into the powdery form, and it convert into the soil surface. Okay, this regolith is containing minerals, biotic matter, air and water are mixing in it, and then soil is formed. This process of development of the soil is taking place after long time, not within a day, not within a month, or not within a year, but within a longer period. The soil could be converted, could be developed from the powdery form of the rock structure. Is that clear? Now we have to remember the classification of rocks. Generally, it is based on soil particles, it is based on color, and it is based on substances in it. The 6 types. First is the alluvial soil. Second is the black soil. Third one is the red soil. Fourth one is the laterite soil. Fifth one is the mountain soil. And sixth one is the desert soil. So we have 6 types of soil that we have to remember forever. Right, my friends? So here I have discussed with you about soil formation, classification of soil, and discussion about minerals. Is that clear, my friend? Okay.